he would step across the line. Habitually. He's a habitual line stepper.
What up, man?
Terry, is the week of comebacks in the NFL that we just watched. The Cardinals came all the way back from 20-something down to beat the Raiders in overtime. Who else came back? The Dolphins came back like down 27 to beat the Ravens. The Browns blew a gigantic lead and let the Jets come back and kick a fucking onside kick and lose in the last play of the game.
That one's horrible.
But before we talk about any of those teams, Terry, let's talk about our teams. Two teams that mounted a comeback all the way to the last second and fell short. Why don't we start with the Chicago Bears, who played, Sunday night against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers in a historic NFL rivalry game.
Hey, man, it is what it is. The Bears, I told you. Everybody's like, oh, Justin Fields looks so good in that rainy slop game. That's the only game he'll ever win. A gritty, wet, swamp game. That's the only game he'll ever win, bro. Not to say that he doesn't give me any type of, promise to look like a leader, per se. But we compare this dude to Tebow and Vince Young. Those aren't great quarterbacks. They're just not. He's just not a good thrower. And he's a good runner, but, at the end of the day, you have to be able to pass a little bit. And for right now, he's giving me nothing. Absolutely nothing. I mean, the Bears deserve that loss. They scored 10 points.
No, you didn't think you got robbed by the refs? So everyone was losing their minds because of all the blown ref calls and the ball was across the line, but they didn't count it and all this other stuff. You think this is firmly on the shoulders of Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears and that the Zebras had nothing to do with this?
What do you have to blame? You scored 10 points. Was it a penalty every fucking play? What are you talking? 27-10. It's 10 point, one touchdown and a field goal. Oh, we got robbed. We got robbed, huh? Oh, okay. Fucking Bears fans crying.
You guys were only 7 points away from having a guaranteed victory over the Carolina Panthers. When I sent you that statistic, Terry, that said that Matt Rhule was 1 in 25 in games where the other team has scored 17 points, bro, that blew my mind, bro.
That was the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. I was like, oh, so you just go to the game and you lost already. It's done. 2 touchdowns, bro. 2 touchdowns and a field goal beats the Panthers. That's
guaranteed. That dude, 25 out of 26 times, that beats the Panthers.
So, we both live here, but I listen to the sports radio, right? So I got the national radio in the afternoon or in the morning until about noon. So, they talk about the Cowboys and all that bullshit. But then from fucking noon to about 6, it's all local shit. So they talk state football, ECU. Then they go Panthers and the Hurricanes, whatever, hockey, who cares? These motherfuckers are like, why fire Matt Rhule? I mean, what's the point? You should have fired him before the season. Just keep him, see how it goes. I'm like, to see what? They're about to be they had a promising season. They really did. You got Baker. You know what I'm saying? You got your boy McCaffrey's back right off the injury. They should be good, right? Robinson's playing well. DJ Moore. Bruh, if you lose by less than 7, that's coaching. If you get blown out, then the team sucks. But it's just so many games where they lose by 7 or less points. And it's you got one of the best running backs in the game. Clock the game. Kill the game out. Win it. Give him the ball in any capacity. He should have 50 touches. I don't care if he's coming off an injury. Ain't no reason for him not to touch the ball 40 times, bro. Look at Saquon from the Giants.
How is Robbie Anderson going to get his 11 targets then? How many teams in NFL history, how many defenses in NFL history have averaged given up less than 17 points a game?
Not a lot.
3?
Yeah.
It's a very, very small number. It's probably the Ravens, the 85 Bears, and the Grits Blitz Falcons, and that's it. Yeah. So if Matt Rhule is your coach, you need to have one of the top 3 defenses of all time to have a 500 record, Terry. Have a 500 record.
It's insane. I mean, here's the funny thing, too. They were giving me some good stats on local radio, too. They were versus teams that win 4 games or less, Matt Rhule is 4-3 against them. versus teams that win 6, 7, and 8 games. Matt Rhule is like 7 and 10. So he's losing those. And then teams that have 10 wins and more, dude's 1 and 11. He's got one win. Dude sucks. He's a bad coach. And then after 2 years, you don't show me nothing, you got to go, bro.
Hey, no. I'm going the other way. He's got to stay the whole season. He's got to stay the whole season, Terry, because the last thing they want is for the Panthers to be 0-8, and then they fire him and promote an interim coach. And this guy galvanizes the whole team, and they win 6 games to get the number 8 draft slot or something like that, and miss their chance to get a franchise quarterback another year in a row.
Hey, man, all I'm saying is this, like, they lost to the Giants, we don't even know what they are yet. It's still week 2.
Is their season already over? Is it done? Like, do Carolina Panthers need to turn on their TV the rest of the Sundays until February, or can they just wait until next August?
I don't think it's done. I do think Matt Rhule is looking at Nebraska's job, but I don't think it's done per se. I think
Matt Rhule is looking at East Chapel High School's job. That's what I think.
Like, the only other wrinkle I would say they can add to the game is just honestly just giving the ball to McCaffrey more, because they really haven't gotten it to him as much as I would like them to. That's the only thing that's kind of keeping me from saying, like, the season's completely over. Because, I mean, this week they gave him 15 rushes. I think last week was around the same, maybe even less. He might have got 11 carries. I'm not even sure. Like, he's giving you production still, but I think that's the only wrinkle. And then, like, look, you have to play to the strength of your quarterback. Like, Baker Mayfield took the Browns to the playoffs with a play action.
Talking shit? That's the strength of their quarterback. Talking shit before and after the game.
Bro, it's just play action, bro. Like, you got to establish the run, and then he's really good at play action. I mean, but a lot of quarterbacks can say that, but he's actually decent at, like, throwing on the run and shit. So, just do it. Stop fucking around. Like, no, we're not going to add any wrinkles yet. We're week 2. Boy, you gonna win some games before you get fired.
Speaking of, you're talking about the, like, lack of offensive creativity. I saw a post on Twitter that was basically, like, broken down each team. What is the percentage of plays that you have somebody going in motion before the snap? The, like, best team, the best offenses in the NFL. You look at the list and it's like, wow, this correlates almost directly to the best offenses in the NFL. The more people you have moving around before the snap creates confusion, identifies what people are going to be doing on defense, and gives your offense a boost. Can you guess what the league leader in motion before the snap is? What the percentage is?
For just the league leader?
Yeah, the Miami Dolphins, they lead the league. What percentage of their snaps involve motion?
Ooh, for them, I mean, they got some fast dudes out there. I'd probably say at least like 75%.
46%, which is the highest mark in the entire league.
Around half. Almost half the plays. All right.
Now guess the Panthers.
Ah, man. I mean, I've seen 20 minutes of them play. I don't think I've seen motion once. I'll go 10.
4.3%. Less than 10% of the league leader.
Oh, my God.
You cannot win football games like this. You just can't. Maybe if you guys were the fucking, the Super Bowl champions from last year who have a bevy of weapons at every position, you're like, we could just line up and beat our guy.
Yeah.
Not the case in Carolina, my friends.
Nah.
You're going to need to do something. And the fact that they, like, the play call has been so vanilla, so stale, that they haven't tried to get anyone in motion. Christian McCaffrey is, like, one of the most versatile chess pieces in the NFL, and he's lined up in the backfield, standing still every snap. It's an indictment on Matt Rhule. It's an indictment on the coaching staff. Joe Brady is looking smarter and smarter. You remember the white guy who was their coordinator last year who had the fade and would rock the gold chains and shit?
I remember.
He was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. When he left, he was like, we left the differences in philosophy. I don't like how he plays football. And he's looking smarter every day.
He is, man. And then the only thing I got to say about this, and we can kind of move on, but the owner of the Panthers also owns Charlotte FC, which is the pro soccer team in Charlotte. He fired that coach in the inaugural season after 4 weeks or 4 games or whatever the fuck. Matt Rhule, for some reason, is on what? Is this his 3rd year coaching the Panthers?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't get it. He's quick to pull the trigger in soccer. I don't know why in football. Whatever.
Hey, he didn't give that soccer coach a $70 million contract when he signed. That's the difference.
Hey, look, just because I'm giving you money, that doesn't mean like I'm just gonna keep you and lose. Like that's kind of ridiculous.
Especially if you're the richest owner in the entire NFL. Yeah. You think you'd be able to set that check on fire and keep it moving. Speaking of somebody who set the fan base on fire and was keeping it moving, let's go back to the Bears and Justin Fields. Terry, did you hear what he said after the game?
Who, Justin Fields?
Yep.
What did he say?
They asked him about the tough loss to the Packers, the close nature of everything, the referees. And they're like, with you coming so close, does that make this loss hurt even more for the fans?
Yeah.
And he was like, no, it hurts a lot more for the players. He was like, the fans don't put any work in. It doesn't hurt them. It hurts us.
Jesus Christ. That's what you want to hear from your fearless leader. I don't care about Chicago's fans. Hey, you better be careful, bro. Chicago's got some of the best fans there is, bro. So if you want to turn against us, good luck, buddy. Going 7 for 11 isn't going to help you either on 70 yards passing.
I just want to break down what he said. That it means more for us because the fans didn't put in any work. The fans put in all the work. We go to work. We go to work. We barely make any money. Then we invest our hard-earned money and our hours and whatever on our Sunday. Probably spend $120 going to a bar drinking just to go watch our favorite team on TV because NFL Sunday ticket is $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
Like, as a Falcons fan, one of the best days of my life, probably over the birth of my child, will be if we win the Super Bowl. Like, I can promise you that'll be one of the 3 best days of my entire life if it ever happens. I can promise you that. Like, and I'm not alone as a fan. I watched the Welcome to Wrexham shit on Hulu with Ryan Reynolds and everything about them buying that Welsh team. Yeah. And they had motherfuckers out there that were interviewing with cancer and shit. And his wife was like, what's on your bucket list? And she was like, what would you want to do more than anything? And he was crying. And he was like, I just want to see Wrexham get promoted. And guys like me, guys like him, like, we're the majority, not the minority. Fans bleed everything they have into these teams. We rely on these teams for an escape from our regular day lives, from all of our problems, our issues, our stress. And then we come out there and we watch the Bears come take a gigantic shit right in the middle of the field and then disrespect our effort afterwards. Justin Fields, the only reason that you're allowed to put in work and flex on Twitter is because of hard work of people like Terry spend their money so you can go roll around in the mud and throw 3 picks. Don't ever forget that.
It's because people watch the games. That's why y'all get paid. It's entertainment for us. But I mean, I agree with you, but I will say this, and you see this hat that I'm wearing, right? After a long hardship of winning that championship, it felt great. I will say that, but I'm not gonna act like the season when we started sucking, I wasn't like, fuck this team. They fucking suck. Like it's awesome, bro. But I think definitely like, it puts shit in perspective when they do finally make it. And then when they start sucking again, you're just like, you forget all about it. It's just like, whatever, they won. Like, I'm happy. I was happy as shit.
Whatever. That's you. The Falcons win the Super Bowl, I'll be happy for the next 50 years.
I'm not going to be happy for 50 years. It's like when it happens, it happens. But like, you get over it. But I get what you're saying, though. He should have never said that shit. I don't know if he's going to get super shit for it. But if he continues to suck, I mean, whatever. Bears, we've had shitty quarterbacks for the last 30 years, so it's not like I ain't tripping over it. We'll get another one. Another shitty one. You can't throw in Chicago. They're going to learn one day. They're going to learn. Change up your scenery. Change the field.
Change the fans, right? Give these quarterbacks the fans they deserve. The fans are letting him down. Poor Justin Fields.
Fuck Justin Fields, honestly. We're out of here on that.
Just, honestly, the whole concept of, like, it's just so you see this like with everybody, everyone who makes it to the highest degree suddenly forgets how they got there and forgets like all the people who were with them before they were shit. And like you hear Kanye talking about, he broke his deal up with Gap and he's like, I don't talk to people who have less money than me. And this to me is a similar type of thing where it's like, this is a loss of perspective, where you forgot where you came from.
Mm-hmm.
And that Justin Fields that was hungry in high school and didn't have his whole future mapped out and everything wasn't secured, you never would have fucking talked like this, talking about regular people don't put the work in. All we do is put the work in. Then you let us down on Sunday.
I can tell this shit hit you hard. I understand. None of your teams win a lot of championships. I understand. I get it. I totally get it. You know,
Barcelona's the only fucking thing I've had for 20 years, Terry.
Yeah, but at the end of the
and
day,
I don't even live there. I'm a bandwagon fan. I have no connection to Barcelona.
That's what I'm saying. I think like it's gonna feel different as fuck. Like if you're like really, really invested into it, you know, like it's great. I don't know. We're going off subject, but like that's a weird statement for him to say. That's fucking weird for a guy who completed 7 passes this week. Very, very fucking strange, buddy. All right, we'll see next week when he plays like shit again.
Yeah, he's flying high. Great time to make those comments. Speaking of Kanye West and outrageous comments, Terry.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Did you see what he said last night?
No, what did he say last night?
He went on like Sway or one of these radio joints, and they're like asking him about some book they were talking about. And he was like, "Nah, I didn't read it." And he was like, "And when I mean I didn't read it, I mean I've never read a book. I don't read books.
Okay.
Reading books for me are like eating Brussels sprouts. Talking for me is like eating. I think he said it was like a corn omelet at some 5-star French restaurant.
Okay.
Basically, Kanye West has told us he's never read a book, and reading is beneath him.
Hey, it worked for you. Probably doesn't work for like 9% of the other billionaires that's ever like lived their life. That's kind of weird. Whatever, bro. Fuck him.
My question is, how are you expecting that? He was like, my thing is talking, not reading. Well, how are you going to expect it to be able to talk about something if you don't know what you're talking about? You got to read first to understand the context to then talk. Otherwise, what are we talking about?
Nah, here's the thing, bro. Like, he says he doesn't read books. But I'm sure when you're doing a research for beats and finding out shit, you are reading, bro. Just because you haven't read a book cover to cover, it doesn't mean you didn't read shit. I get what he's trying to say, but it didn't come out like smart. It wasn't articulate. Like you fucking research and read the fuck out of everything to get research for old ass beats that you make. You're a great producer, so don't fucking try to fool people. This dude's gonna have like at least, I'd probably say at least like 5,000 people be like, oh, I'm never going to read a book because Kanye doesn't read books.
Right. I know. This is what I'm saying. I can't wait for him and Floyd Mayweather to come out with a double disc.
They're one of one, bro. He can't do it there. But yeah, man, the Bears suck. You want to talk about the Browns, bro? That shit was sad, bro. Cleveland, bro.
So,
fucking hell, man.
Cleveland, you guys did something I haven't seen since Todd Gurley played for the Falcons. The running back could have taken a knee, had a heart attack, called all his friends, and wrote a college dissertation at the 1-yard line as they ran the clock out, as the Jets had no timeouts left, no way to stop the game, and no recourse that they could do to win. Nothing. And yet, old dude runs right into the end zone. The Jets get the ball back, score immediately, get an onside kick, score again, and send the Browns packing back to the doo-doo farm in Cleveland.
Yeah, that was sad. Joe Flacco said, Cleveland, this is for you. This shit was hilarious. Hey, Denzel Ward.
He said, Cleveland, this is for you. He did? Yes.
Fucking easy touchdown. Yo, Denzel.
I love it. Did he do the chalk toss at the end, too, and stand on the joint? That would have been fucking awesome.
God, I don't know, bro, but
he should have just picked up Johnny Manziel and pile drived him somewhere in the fucking audience. Just like, yeah, as he runs off the field. I own this city. I'm Joe fucking Flacco.
Didn't Cleveland do the same shit last week? Like, who Baker Mayfield threw it to somebody that was wide the fuck open last week. I don't remember who it was. Like, they left someone wide open down the side. Like, you got to win, bro. What are y'all doing? Denzel Ward, you're getting paid $100 million. It was on your side. And Garrett Wilson caught a slant on your side. Like, for the game winner. What are you doing? Like, oh my God. And the funny thing to me is the Browns get this new logo in the middle of their football stadium. It's like Brownie Girl or whatever. So it's like you paid for all this to change the fortunes. You're like, we finally got a logo. We're now the identity of the Browns. And you just fucking shit the bed like the Browns always do. Like your fortunes are never going to change, bro. That shit.
Did
the Dolphins
did the brownie
bad.
girl have a little bottle of lotion with her? And a miniature towel? Was that included in the logo?
I don't know. I wish. That'd be awesome. I don't know.
They should have a massage section in the Browns stadium.
Oof.
Take out one of the concessions and just build in a massage joint where you can watch the game and relax.
But is this what America wants though? Is this what we want? Because the shot's on the Browns. Do we root against the Browns now? Do they suck and we're done with them?
Yeah, I'm rooting. Before it was like they always were like the redheaded stepchild of the NFL. Them and the Lions, they suck so bad. It's like I can't even root against them. It's like that's like beating up a retarded kid. Now, now the retarded kid killed my aunt, and I got real animus against him.
Yeah,
you know, I got a good reason in my back pocket now.
That's true.
Absolutely. I'm fading the Browns forever. They just redid the curse for another 100 years. They'll never be good. They got to move it out of Cleveland.
They're in trouble, bro. They're in trouble. This coach he's shit, bro. He might be on the shit list too. He might be out of there. And did you see on the onside kick? Did you see your boy Amari Cooper? That effort was fucking shit.
Taking plays off. Was it an away game? No, it
was home. It was home. He fucked up. It was like the ball was going straight to him, and then it was also kind of going out of bounds. And he was like, "All right, I'm gonna knock this out."
Oh, I'm gonna let this go out of bounds. And then
he was
like,
gonna try
I'm
to
just
knock it
gonna
out of
grab
bounds.
this.
He wanted to knock it out of bounds with his left arm, and then the dude on the Jets was like, "I will kill anyone that's in the way right now to get this fucking ball." And then Amari Cooper was like, "Oh, I guess I'm not." He kind of backed out, swung at it. He was like, "Oh, didn't get it. Didn't go after it." That was ridiculous.
First of all, I just want to say, if I was an NFL player, I'm kicking every fucking onside kick and every fumble. Any ball that's on the ground, when someone else goes to pick it up, I'm going to fucking kick it every single time.
Hey, look, if no one actually watched the end of that game, the Browns quit, bro.
It was just Joe Flacco's family. That was it.
It was 30 to 16?
17 or something like that?
Yeah. From 30 to 16, and when the Jets had the ball and they scored the touchdown, complete quit. The Browns completely quit. There was no effort from Myles Garrett. There was no effort from the defensive line at all. They let them get, like, on the last possession, they let them get, like, 6 sideline passes to go out of bounds. And I was like, bro, they quit. Like, they did not want to play anymore. I was like, bro, what are y'all doing?
I almost forgot about Myles Garrett for a second. Another reason I don't like the Browns.
100 million man. 100 million. Oh, he's crazy.
That's not why I don't like him. You remember when he said Mason Rudolph called him the N-word? And
Did he lie?
Why he was yes, of course he lied. Mason Rudolph's entire offensive line and all his wide receivers are black. His running back was black. You think he could just go out there and casually call some dude the N-word in the middle of a game? Are you fucking kidding me?
Not on the Steelers with Mike Tomlin as the coach. That ain't happening.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here, man. With your lying ass Myles Garrett. He's a straight up liar, just like Deshaun Watson. They should change their name from the Browns to the Liars.
They suck, bro. They're in
liar,
trouble,
liar. That's what it should say in the middle of their field. Liar, liar. Should have a big ass picture of Frankie Munoz instead of their mascot.
And then Jacoby Brissett, bro. Poor Jacoby, bro. I mean, the last possession, I was like, all right, they're on the 25. You know, they did the Bills. They did the Bills Chief shit. They kicked it out for a touchback. No time went off the clock. They get the ball at the 25. Jacoby, first play, interception. Like, just straight into the fucking dude's hands. I'm just like, and then Jacoby's on the sideline mad, like, fuck, I'm done. Yeah, you are done, bro. You're fucking done. That was so bad. I was like, oh, bro, like, he wasn't even open for 1 second, and he just threw it right into the Jets fan, bro. I was like, bro, this is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. If I was there at the game, I might have committed violence. If I was a Browns fan, bro, someone in a Jets jersey would have got.
Are we still talking about the Browns-Jets game, or are we now talking about the Falcons-Rams game? Which one are we talking about?
What happened in that one?
Losing a game, throwing picks, staring down a receiver. I mean, so first of all, Terry, let me set the stage. All right,
Mariota. Falcons
play like shit through 3 quarters. With about 4 minutes left in the third quarter, we're down 28-3. Now, you may remember this score from another famous Falcons game in which we were, on the other hand, up 28 and blew a 25-point lead in the Super Bowl. Terry, now came the time for us to exercise those demons. We could finally put it all behind us. We mounted an insane comeback. scoring touchdowns. We 28 to 10. Then we block a punt and return it for a touchdown for the first time in my lifetime as a Falcons fan, Terry.
Ever?
Hasn't happened since 1990.
Wow.
All right. Now it's 27 to 17. Then we intercept Matthew Stafford, come right down, score a touchdown. It's like 27-22. Then we force a fumble. This is like with 2 minutes left in the game. We force a fumble on their 40-yard line, get the ball back like 10 yards outside of field goal range.
Yeah.
All right. We're down 4 at this point. We drive all the way to like the 12-yard line. All right.
Yeah.
On 2nd and 7 or something like that, Marcus Mariota stares down this dude. He didn't look from him the entire play. He literally snapped the ball and was like,
just eyed him down.
Yeah, of course, Jalen Ramsey steps right in front of him and picks it. I'm like, oh, God. There we go.
The best quarterback in the game.
Yeah. Series before that, I forgot to tell you, Terry, we're driving still down 4, 2 minutes left, throws a pick off the wrong side of Cordero Patterson, a fucking screenplay that Marcus Mariota throws to the wrong side of him, behind him. Throws behind him on a screen. They have a pick or whatever go the other way. Get the ball back. After all this, he throws the interception when we're on the 12-yard line. We would have went ahead after he stares down the dude. Yeah. There's a minute left in the game. We got no timeouts. We have no chance. We just blew the game.
Yeah.
Miraculously, Terry, when we blocked the punt, we injured their punter. So they couldn't punt the ball. So we get 3 stops, and then it's 4th down, and they take a safety.
What? What the fuck?
Yeah, because they can't punt the ball. So they take a safety with 30 seconds left. Now we're only like a fucking cornerback who punted it out of bounds and gave us the ball at the 40-yard line. So now we have the ball at the 40-yard line. There's like 20 seconds left in the game. All we do is got to go down the field. Marcus Mariota takes a sack, fucking runs around, throws the ball out, gets an intentional grounding penalty. Now there's 8 seconds left on the clock, and we're like on the 40, and we have time for a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Now remember, Terry, this Falcons team made news for being the biggest wide receiver core in the NFL. Drake London's 6'5", Kyle Pitts is 6'5", Brian Edwards is 6'4". All right?
Yeah.
We are the Hail Mary squad. If anyone's built for this moment, it's us. Yeah. They rushed 3 people against our 5-man offensive line.
No way.
Marcus Merritt, same exact play as the Kyler Murray play in overtime, where he ran around for 35 seconds and then ran into the end zone. Same exact defensive call. Marcus Mariota could have stood in the pocket and done any number of things. He probably could have evolved into an X-Men, given the amount of time that he had. Yeah. For some reason, he senses pressure from nowhere, rolls out right to his right where the only rusher is that could possibly get him, and takes a sack instead of throwing the Hail Mary to win the game.
Wow, bro.
He never threw the ball, and that's how we lost.
You got sacked on a 3-man rush?
Yeah.
By the Rams?
Yeah, by a quarterback who ran a 4.5.
Yo, the Rams are like trying to give you the game. Like, I don't even see shit like that anymore. Like 3-man rushes. Like,
taking intentional safeties, then punting the ball out of bounds from the kickoff?
No, the Rams are trying to give it to you. Because, like, where were y'all at? We're like half field? Where are you at for this, like, Hail Mary?
Yeah, Hail Mary, we were like the 45. Like
45? Yeah. I mean, I thought we were done with this 3-man rush shit. If there's a Hail Mary, you got to understand. I'm sending 6. You're just not going to throw it. Like, you know how many times we've seen them just rush 5 and, like, you just can't throw the fucking ball? But you rush 3 and you still get fucking sacked. Like, why can't y'all just lose like 28-3? Take a blowout. You got to do it in fantastic fashion.
And the way he took the sack, it was like there was a magnet on the defensive end, and he was suctioned into him from the other side of the field. He could have just stayed exactly where the fuck he was. If you just caught the snap and then somebody was like, pretend you're a Confederate statue, he could have stayed right there for 18 seconds.
That's like some scripted Madden shit, bro.
Yeah. Dude, I'm done with it. I'm like, I was so fucking furious. I'm over Marcus Mariota so much. As a Falcons fan.
After week one?
He lost the game week 1 too, fumbling the ball on the 6-yard line, trying to take on 2 linebackers. I don't know if you saw what my hair looked like at the start of this podcast, but it wasn't this. All right, I get to talk about Marcus Mariota, and suddenly I look like a homeless man. You see what the teams do to me? You see the work that I put in, Terry? You taking those Justin Fields?
No, I hear you. Hey, let me ask you a question though, for real. Like, does he know who Kyle Pitts is, or is he just like out there? Like, I see Drake London's getting all this love, but Kyle Pitts is actually a top 10 tight end. Like, they can throw it to him. What are we doing here? Can we set something up?
Marcus Mariota cannot fit the ball into tight windows. Anytime that there's like a tight window, he'd look Kyle Pitts right off. It was like, I'm throwing to the flat. He's not a precision passer, bro. And Kyle Pitts, his stats from 2 games, identical.
Horrible.
2 catches, 19 yards. 2 catches, 19 yards.
How many targets, though?
I think he had 4 targets yesterday.
They're like, come on, bro. Throw the fucking ball to him. He's the best player on your team. What are we doing, bro?
I will say, against the Rams, they had him in to block a lot to have an extra man on Aaron Donald.
Bro,
that
get
man
another
is just
fucking fullback in. Cordell Patterson, I understand he's like your other like dual weapon. Like you want to use him. Don't use your best receiver as a blocker. Like, what are we doing here? Drake London is good.
That's just my point exactly, Terry. It's like
inept.
If you think this is what Kyle Pitts is and this is how you're going to use him, you can't take him at 4 overall over fucking Micah Parsons, over Justin Fields, over Jamar Chase. You can't take a guy at 4 and then block him 55 snaps out of fucking 75 in a game. Like you just can't do that. That's not how you use a premier asset. And then like you look at the other side. Oh, how do you think Micah Parsons would look in Atlanta right now?
Like the best player in football almost. I mean, fucking beast, bro. He's better than Aaron Donald right now. Like straight up. He's disrupting the game.
It's discouraging as a Falcons fan. It's tough. It doesn't feel like our season is over. Not like the Panthers. The Falcons lost both games on the last play of the game, as usual. But I'll tell you the thing that really hurts, Terry.
Yeah.
Is the opportunity to exercise the ghost of 28-3. That has haunted us since the Super Bowl. Terry, I brought this up before. Since the Super Bowl, the Falcons have blown 5 20-point leads in the 4th quarter. The rest of the NFL combined had blown 3. Combined.
Damn, son. That's all time bad. That's crazy. Holy shit.
That's a real fucking curse. That's a real curse, and we had a chance to break it this past weekend. Down 28-3. We block a punt. We score a touchdown from it. First time in my lifetime. We have all the momentum. We get an interception. We force a fumble. They punt it out of bounds on the safety, and we take a sack instead of throwing the Hail Mary.
Shout out to the Rams kicker who can't punt.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
It feels like the curse just got elongated by another decade.
Possibly. So, I'm on 0-17 watch. Should I be sniffing around in Atlanta?
No, don't sniff around Atlanta. Huh? We're playing the Seahawks this weekend.
This is when DK Metcalf
I'll tell you what. If we lose against the Seahawks, then hey, bring out the sniffer. All right.
Hey, look, of the teams that are 0-2, though,
if we lose to the Seahawks, you're gonna need to bring out Michael Jackson's original nose.
Jesus Christ, that big one sniffing all the white man's air, taking all the boxes.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
Look, of all the 0-2 teams, though, I'm on 0-17 watch. You know, this is a new record. 0-17 is a new record. I'm looking for it. I want to see it. The Bears, they let me down. They fucking won week 1. God damn it.
Don't worry. They'll disappoint you the rest of the season.
Yeah,
that was as good as it's going to get. Yeah, your one win was against Trey Lance, who played 5 quarters of football the entire season. Looked like shit.
Hey, look. Chicago fucking sucks. I'm not even going to worry about that. Week 6 is the real game I'm going to look at when they play the Vikings in Minnesota in a dome. If he plays like shit there, I'm done. Get him the fuck off the team. I'm done with him. Anyways, so out of the 0-2 teams, the 0-17 sniff, Bengals, Raiders, Titans, Panthers, Falcons, with the exception of the Texans and the Colts, who fucking tied because they suck.
We know who the most likely candidate is.
Carolina?
Yes. Round. Yes, it's got to be. The Bengals were in the Super Bowl last year. The Titans have been to the AFC Championship 3 out of the last 4 years. Yeah. The Falcons are going to beat the Panthers at least once this year. I don't even remember who the other team was.
The Raiders and the Bengals.
Yeah, the Raiders. They're not going to go 0-17. Not after they got Devontae Adams and those premier pass rushers and all that shit over there.
I mean, the way they lost that game in Arizona, I don't know.
Hey, 0-17 is like App State football. Like 0-17 is really, really bad. You have to be really,
I can definitely tell you don't watch college football because App State. Honestly, they're the best football team in North Carolina. Like, do you know what their record is over the past 6 seasons?
Let me guess. 53-11.
80-17.
Damn.
Yeah, App State is fucking good. They shouldn't have lost to UNC, but they fucked up. They won on a Hail Mary against Troy.
Yeah, I saw
These motherfuckers are the luckiest team alive. With College Game Day there that day. Like that, you want to talk about like getting fucked up and booed?
Yeah, you want to talk about a blackout? Oh my god.
That would have been crazy. But yeah, I don't know. The Falcons ain't looking too good. The Panthers looking bad. If the Panthers keep Matt Rhule, I like them odds. I'm gonna look at those odds and my bet on those motherfuckers if he stays there. If you guarantee he's the coach for the rest of the season, I'm like,
hammer the Panthers for worst record. Start doing it now.
Because like you lose to Jacoby Brissett and the Browns, and you lose to Daniel Jones and the Giants. Come on, bro.
Not exactly a murderer's row of opponents.
Hey, it's looking good, baby. It is looking good. I want to see it.
And they've yet to play the Saints, Bucks, or Falcons, who are all better than them in the division.
Yeah, but speaking of train wrecks, did you watch the Monday night game last night? Did you see Tennessee just get the brakes beat off of them? That was. I feel bad for the city of Nashville, bro. That shit was horrible. I feel good for Buffalo fans though. They needed that. That was just like a celebration. Shout out to Josh, bro. Josh Allen.
Oh shit! I thought you were talking about the Vikings-Eagles game for a second. No, we could talk about Bills-Titans.
Oh no, they had both. I was just saying, speaking of train wrecks.
Yeah, no, train wrecks. I mean, I think a lot of us saw this coming with the Titans, that they're not going to make the playoffs this year.
41-7.
Yeah, that defense is falling apart. Derrick Henry is not the Shaq-level dominator that he once was. Nope. And their wide receivers their 2 number ones are rookies. And their best wide receiver is like a 5th-round pick. What's his name? Kelvin Phillips or Kyle Phillips or something like that? He
sucks, bro. He sucks. And he muffed a punt last night, too. Like, shit hit him right in his face. I was like, dog.
It's like they're not good on defense. They have a great defensive line, but their secondary is suspect. Their linebackers are suspect. On offense, their skill positions are terrible. I don't even know who their tight end is. And they have Ryan Tannehill as their quarterback.
If they run the AFC South, I'd say.
Hey, hold up. If Derrick Henry gets a season-ending injury, bring out the sniffers. If he fucking tears his ACL or something like that,
I'd give it to you, bro. But the AFC South is atrocious. It is fucking bad. They got the Colts and the Texans and the Jaguars. Like, that division is so bad. That's one of the worst divisions.
Jaguars is about to look like a competent team just by the teams that are next to them.
Yeah. Hey, Jaguars about to look like the fucking Patriots. Like, the Patriots used to just go undefeated in their division, and then they could just fuck around and do weird shit versus other teams. It's crazy, man. The boys look bad.
Let's talk about a team in their division that has so far way under-delivered on their expectations. A lot of people are crowning the Indianapolis Colts as Super Bowl favorites heading into this season.
Who?
A lot of people on ESPN. I think on ESPN's Power Ranking, they were like top 3 or something like that.
At the beginning of the season?
Yeah, a lot of people, because they had the most Pro Bowlers in the NFL last season. Didn't make the playoffs, and then they were like, we subtract Carson Wentz and add Matt Ryan, who's the second coming of Peyton Manning, back to Indianapolis.
At this point,
we got to make the playoffs.
At this point in their careers, they're about the same, to be honest. I mean, I know Wentz has looked better in these 2 weeks, but yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Matt Ryan in the last year of the Broncos' Peyton Manning.
Oh, no. Nah, he's worse than that. At least Peyton could do a little bit of something.
He's worse than that? Matt Ryan's worse than Broncos' Peyton Manning?
Matt Ryan fumbled the ball 4 times last week. Like, come on, bro. Peyton Manning's never fumbled the ball 4 times probably in a season, bro. I can probably bet on that.
They're going to love it once Matt Ryan starts throwing picks in the red zone. They're going to really get on board there. Or when it's 3rd down and 15 and he throws it 4 yards.
Man, I don't know, bro. I told you, bro. We were talking about this shit last week. You were like, hey, look out for this revenge game. I was like, revenge what? When you score 0 points in a game, I'm sniffing around. They might be the worst team at fucking football.
They should have blown them out. Like, they had all offseason with this circled on their fucking calendar. Like, we ruined our entire season last year when we came up to Jacksonville and shit the bed and lost to Clowntown. They've been circling this game for 9 fucking months, Terry, and they came out there and put up a goose egg.
They ain't got it. They don't have the heart, bro. They just don't.
Is the on 0 to 100? Where's the panic meter for the Colts? If you're a Colts fan?
I mean, especially if they don't have Michael Pittman Jr. because he's still a little banged up. Yeah, it's like a 7, bro. I'm worried about them. They look bad. They don't look good at all. I mean, their defense looks okay. It doesn't look like the same as last year, but it still is early. Sometimes defenses, it takes them a little while to catch up, like in the beginning weeks, because you don't get to tackle and shit in the beginning of the year for practice and stuff. But they still just look bad. I don't know, man.
I actually think they'll be fine. I'm going to go the other way on this. Do you know how many rushes Jonathan Taylor had?
I mean, they're giving him the ball.
7.
They only gave him 7 in that game?
7.
What was the score at halftime? 17-0? Hold on. Let me look at something. Like 7 rushes?
That's what I thought.
Oh, 9 carries.
9. Excuse me. 9. 9 carries. For the number 1 pick in fantasy, the betting favorite for MVP, the guy who won Offensive Player of the Year last year. 9 carries.
9 carries for 54 yards. Why didn't they give the ball more?
Let's run the offense through Matt Ryan.
That's 6 yards a carry.
Let's do it.
They didn't give him the ball more?
No.
He was gashing on them. They're like, let's go to passing. Who are you passing to?
Their 6'9" tight ends. That's every fucking tight end on their roster is like 6'9" and can't get separation. And they're like, all you gotta do is throw it up and he'll catch it. He's 6'9".
Bro, this is crazy. And Paris Campbell has no fucking receptions. Whatever. Bro. Who's the coach?
I got what's his name? The motherfucker who used to be quarterback for the Eagles, the backup, Frank Reich.
Oh, okay. Jesus fucking Christ, bro.
But I got to think that they rebalance this offense and redistribute these touches. And they're like, hey, next game, we're not going to call 55 pass plays and 9 runs.
No, yeah. If I was even him, I'd be like, hey, man, I know they want me to pass, but here you go, Jonathan. I'm checking this. Come on, bro. This is ridiculous. 9 carries, that's outrageous. I know they were down.
I was mad about Kyle Pitts' usage. Can you imagine how they feel about Jonathan Taylor in Indianapolis?
Bro, I don't understand this week-to-week shit. Like, I get that they were down, but at the end of the day, you still got to give it to your best player, bro. You have to, because 9 ain't enough. You got to. If you're losing 24-0 in the first half, I still need at least 15 carries out of him. He's gonna give you something.
Minimum.
He's not gonna minimum. You're not gonna have incomplete passes.
He should be getting 20 touches a game, minimum.
Yeah, minimum. It's the same thing with the fucking McCaffrey thing. It's like if he gets less than 20, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Like the coach get punched. Like, what are you doing? Wake up, bro. Come on now.
I know Ed would have. Ed McCaffrey never would have stood for that shit. Not for Matt Rhule.
Nah, that's true. He's a strong dude.
Terry, let's transition to a man who said that he wouldn't stand for any shit this year, that he was going to run through the league. Joe Burrow is 0-2 after looking absolutely terrible. He lost to the Cowboys. He lost to – who did he lose to the first week? It was another terrible team.
Steelers.
The Steelers.
Yeah.
My man, how many turnovers has he had? 9 through 2 games?
He's out there slinging it. They told me, they got all these offensive line acquisitions and shit, and they look about the same.
The offensive line was so bad, Terry. He was like running backwards before the snap. I don't know if you saw this one joint. At one point during the third quarter, he calls over to Zach Taylor, their coach, and he tells him, no more empty sets. We can't do it with 5 blockers. He just goes, no more empty sets. No more.
Damn, son. Bro.
How much trouble is Joe Burrow in? Are you buying that his demise is real and that the Super Bowl hangover is real and that the Bengals are going to miss out in the playoffs? Or does my man Big Dick Burrow just need to dig deep, get back on track, and start putting up points?
I don't think the panic meter is up there yet. The one thing, there's a couple things you can say about the 2 games. One, for this game in week 2 versus the Cowboys do have a really good pass rush. And even if you can say the other 3 guys aren't good at rushing, Michael Parsons is playing like the best defensive player in the league. So it's like, that's tough, you know. Their defense is good. They got Diggs out there. Linebackers are tackling. You can chalk that up to a good defensive loss. They lost. You know, it is what it is. On the other side of the shit, you gave up 20 points to a backup quarterback. All right, that's a problem for the defense. And then week 1, you know, your kicker missed some field goals. So I'm not going to sit here and say, like, we should have, you know, not fucked that game up. And the extra point got blocked. They could have won in regulation as well. So, I mean, they could sit here and be 1-1. It's not that big a deal. But when you look at the teams in their division, Baltimore is a really good fucking team. You can't be losing stupid-ass games, even though Baltimore lost versus the Dolphins, which was a crazy-ass game.
Did you know their corner situation, though, for Baltimore?
Yeah, they got hurt like crazy, right?
They were down to when they were making that comeback. They were down to their 4th and 5th corners, starting on the outside. That's fucking tough. Rookies, like playing in their first NFL game. You know that's not going to continue. Nah.
So I mean, I wouldn't panic yet. Joe Burrow is kind of playing shitty, though. I will say that.
Kind of.
Week 1. I think week 1 he played well. Week 2, I think the Cowboys actually have a good defense, bro.
Week 1 he dropped like 3 snaps. How many fumbles did he have? He had like 3 picks and 2 fumbles, 5 turnovers. He scored like 7 points.
He was still slanging it though. In this particular game, he did look bad. In week 1, he was throwing it well.
Like the Bengals better hope they play the Panthers week 3 through week 17.
Nah, let's see who they play, bro. They play the Jets. They're good.
They're good. They get back on track.
That's a rebound game.
I don't know. I was shocked, dude. Joe Burrow, you know, the offseason.
You love Joe Burrow.
I do love Joe Burrow, but he was talking big shit. You know, he was like, oh, we're light years ahead of where we were last time. You know, I've seen every defense in the book, and we have a counter for everything. We're so much more advanced than we were. We should hit the ground running. Yada, 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 yada. He was talking out here like he was Peyton Manning, and he's seen it all before. And it's just a question of getting these other guys on the same page around. And then you go out there, and it's like they can't complete slants. Like, they cannot run a fucking 5-yard pass play.
I don't know, man. I mean,
I have no answers. It just, like, were they too cocky? Did they think they just had it in the bag? Like, we went to the Super Bowl. I'm Joe Burrow. I'm Jamar Chase. We play together at LSU. We don't need to practice. Like, what happened? How did we lose the continuity and the chemistry? How did it become worse after you've had a full year in the NFL as opposed to when it was when you were a rookie?
Hey, man, if you watched them in the beginning of last year, very, very similar. They were playing like ass, and they kind of turned around after about, I don't know, week 6, week 7. They were playing like one of the best teams in football, so I wouldn't panic just yet, man. I understand, like, it's not a fluke year. Like, there has been fluke years from people, but the expectations of him being like one of the best fucking quarterbacks of all time, I think that's gonna be crazy. You know what I'm saying? He's good, but I don't expect him to be Tom Brady right away. Like, he still needs time. He's still a young quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
give him some time. Bro.
Cut him some slack. I had my expectations too high. I thought he was going to be Black Tom Brady from the jump. And
well, that's the thing, though. When you do talk a big game, though, when you talk a big game, people expect big shit. And if you play like shit, then everyone's going to be like, hey, man, get it together. What the fuck are you doing? You know? So Joe need to chill out on the talking and start doing some shit. That's all I'm saying.
Where the Tigers at, Baker Mayfield? Where the Tigers at?
And look, I see Joe Burrow with commercials with Kid Cudi and shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, get on the fucking practice field, buddy. Get it together.
Did you see Kid Cudi said today that he's like the most hated rapper in the game?
Nah.
I was like, I didn't know you were a rapper.
Cudi is just different, man.
I'm a rapper on Cudi Spazzin' and 4 other songs.
Cudi's different. I will say, when on a tangent, when he like first came out and he kind of was doing different shit, I feel like the rap game was like, nah, he ain't rap. He's on some different shit. You know, like they were like, he's a little gay. I don't know if we fuck with him like that. You know how homophobic the rap game is. They're like, nah, they pushing him out into some alternative shit. Yeah. So I was just
especially that was like 2008 at the end of the fucking, the aughts with the long baggy shorts and young bloods. We don't give a damn. We don't give a fuck. No.
Yeah. ATL was taking over with all the bullshit rap. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he was a little hated. I get it. I don't know if people are hating on him now. I mean, he probably does have some, but like, fucking delete your comments, dumbass.
I hate on him now. I used to love him. But
he's still really good.
He paved the way for all these guys that I hate. Like NBA Youngboy and Juice WRLD and all these other sing-song and fucking fruitcakes. I can't stand this shit, dude.
Lil Uzi.
Yeah, Lil Uzi is like all this sing-songy, nursery rhymey rap bullshit.
Yeah. Travis Scott too. Travis Scott got a little fire in him. A little bit of fire.
He got a little bit of Cudi. He got a little bit of Cudi in him, but
Cudi,
the rest of him is like he started a wave, and I don't like when the tide went out, then it went back in. I don't like what I'm seeing.
Cudi's just different, man. He just needs to be different. He's got mad depression, bro. So it's like tough. Well,
remember the first 2 motherfuckers with that type of sound, like Kid Cudi and Drake, like those motherfuckers are icons in the game. Like they changed everything.
No, they did.
People from the new generation, you can't compare Lil Uzi Vert to Drake or NBA Youngboy to Kid Cudi.
Nah, not at all. Especially Cudi though, because like Drake definitely went more in like a popular music type of way, more pop, and he did a lot more rhyme with his rap shit. But like Cudi's raps were just so like about his sad ass life and shit, and motherfuckers are like, all right, man, like I get it, but like that's him. He made a vow he only makes happy music, so like a lot of his new shit is actually pretty fucking good. But
Kid Cudi is the answer to the question: what if Joe Budden had talent?
Totally different. But yeah, hey, football's done. We out of here.
Football's done, Terry. We're not though. All right, because some very important stuff took place during this week. All right, in the world, not just in sports. LeBron cut his hair off. He finally did it, Terry.
Come on home.
Every season, it was creeping back another half inch, then another half inch, then another half inch. Then he reset it all. He did train wreck with Amy Schumer, and he reset it, a hard reset like Wayne Rooney.
Hair plugs.
But now it appears that he has finally given up, and seen the light and accepted reality. He's gone bald head. Terry, I think he should have done it a decade ago. He looks great. He looks like Jason's daddy. I'm all here for it. He looks like Jason's Hale's like illegitimate stepdaddy. You know, the one that's not really his dad, but the one who fucks his mom is like, yeah, she calls me daddy.
Oh, man. Hey, look, man, we all agree, bro. He should have done this shit years ago. Not much to be said. LeBron.
How much faster is he going to be now that the wind resistance has been removed? Now that there's no drag. I mean, if we thought we saw chase down blocks before, Terry.
I love Bron, but he's old as shit. I ain't going to lie. Like, he was getting 30 points a game. That was fantastic. Dude plays no defense at all. I'm really interested in seeing, like, if that team is actually good, can he play defense anymore? Or since you just gave up on it in the last 2 seasons, can you still do it? Or is it gone like your fucking hair? I don't think he can play D anymore. He can't do both. He's old as fuck. Was he 38?
He can only do it in the like high leverage moments when it really counts. That's the only time he could do it.
He's 36, about to turn 37. Isn't this his 20th year? Or 21st? What are we doing?
I hope that the bald head signifies that he's moving off the ball to power forward. That's what I hope. Ball head equals less dribbling. Let me take my old big ass down the block and go to work. All right? The man looks like Ivan Johnson. It's time to play like him.
Hey, you gonna start body slamming refs in China? Let's go for it.
Spitting on them.
Hey, look, you already know, man. LeBron's all about. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Bron's bald. He's gonna be moved 0.1 miles an hour faster. Like he is who he is. I'm glad he cut his hair off though. That shit was looking stupid.
Hey, man,
he just kept
telling
doing bald fades to like hide the hairline.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's like, come on, bro.
This shit was like trying to like park a bike in front of a fire hydrant so you couldn't see it. Like, come on, man. I can see right through the spokes. It's right there.
To expedite that shit, if I was his son, I would just have like a screensaver of a picture of the back of his head. And like every time I'd pull my phone up beside him, I'd just be like, hey, come on, dog. This ain't it.
That's not it.
Gotta get rid of it.
His son probably did it for him like Bam Margera while he was sleeping. He probably came up in there with the clippers.
Just nice little chip in the back of your head. Like, hey, man, go bald. I'm glad.
He said, listen, Bron, a change is coming.
Will we see him in a dunk contest now?
Oh, is he going to jump off a step stool?
I don't know. I'm glad. Though.
Yeah, I think we will see him in the dunk contest, but not as a participant. Like, as one of the people who throws the ball up so someone else can dunk, or he holds it above his head and then someone jumps over LeBron James and dunks it.
Well, I don't know if he wants to
at some point, but he'll be as a prop.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he wants to hold it above his head because I wouldn't know what to grab. I mean, he looks like a fucking ball now. He's bald. Just grab his head and dunk.
Grab him by the ears and stretch him up.
Oh shit, my bad, Bron. I thought a little higher. Hold it a little higher so I can see the difference. My bad.
We gonna stretch you out till you look like Rudy Gobert.
He was the Space Jam, a black classic, by the way.
Hey, speaking of classic Disney movies, Terry, Disney made waves this week by announcing the new Little Mermaid with Chloe from Chloe and Halle. The big news, Terry, is that she's black. They broke the record on YouTube for most dislikes, like quickest video to hit 1 million dislikes. Shit got to like 1 million in 5 seconds. Like, these racist motherfuckers could not wait. They probably went to their internet cafes and their cousins' trailer parks that has the good Wi-Fi with the hotspot hooked up, and they couldn't fucking wait to mash that dislike button. But so, Terry, tell me what having a black Little Mermaid means for you.
Who cares? Like, I don't understand where all this hate's coming from. I feel like, bro, every time they try to do a black something, like everybody gets all in arms. Like, remember when they tried to do a black Spider-Man and they were just trolling? They're like, yeah, we'll have Donald Glover be the black Spider-Man. And motherfuckers like, no, there can never be a black Spider-Man. Like, a fucking kid from the Bronx can't be Spider-Man. Like, he can't be black. Are you like, what are we doing here?
That's why they're like the multiverse. In another universe, he is black. How about that? Loophole, bitch. Take that, racist.
Personally, I don't care if the mermaid is black or not. And you know there's a lot of swimming black jokes that could be said. Like, a lot of those could be flown out there. But I'm not going to go low like that. I'm going to just say this. I don't think it's necessary to have a fucking black live mermaid. Like, for what? Why? I don't like remakes, but you know that about me.
You like, don't like it for a separate reason.
No, like,
nothing to do with her being black.
No, like, just create new shit. I'm sick of the same fucking shit all the time. Just create something different. Make another story. Why have it be Black Little Mermaid? Why? Just do some other shit. Have her do something else. You just want to have controversy. That's it. Next thing you know, they're just going to be like,
Little Mermaid.
No. They're just going to be like, let's make White Hamilton with all white characters and no rap in it either. They're just going to make fucking jazz music and goddamn rock. Like, make a like, there's so many producers in Hollywood and shit. Like, y'all can't do different shit? I don't get it, bro. This shit just, it eludes me, bro. I don't care about it at all. I don't.
So, Terry, your problem with the new Little Mermaid is not the fact that the Little Mermaid is black. It's the fact that they made another Little Mermaid. Am I getting that right?
Yes, you're absolutely correct.
Okay. Way to be woke. Way to go above it, Terry. Above the fray.